if Rito can keep up that pace, I think he'll be on for a great shout here. For those just joining us, unfortunately the first lobby crashed, so we had a red flag. The session was red flagged. At that time, Rito was in the lead of the race, quite a distance ahead of Nuno, Danimator and Sobel, who were rounding up in the top 4. Cosmo was down in 5th, and the likes of Anti and Musha's down in kind of 7th and 8th, last and Andy. Much more mixed up grid than we've seen in previous years, and I for one was really enjoying that, so it's a really big shame. But we turn our attention now to the actual qualifying session, hopefully if this one doesn't crash, which that would be really bad. But yeah, everyone's just finishing their first lap now. Nuno goes with a 29.60, which is what he did last time for his first lap, so we'll matches that. We'll go down the rest of the grid. Rams with a 29.87, that's a pretty good lap. Kamikaze with a 29.65, very good as well. 29.58 for Julo, who is currently the fastest man on track. My co-commentators, are you seeing my broadcast alright? Is this all good?
I am, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Julo goes even faster with a 29.47. He is on fire. Cosmo, Nuno only has a 43. We will see how I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited here because it's my team. We'll see how high up the grid Julo can put that car, but it's looking promising at the moment. Who else did I just see with a 43? Yeah, Nuno with a 43. Sobel with a 47 as well. Let's see how this boils out. We'll have to take a look. Obviously the red flag and the 18 laps that we did before gives people a bit of a warm-up. Danny is on pole. Anti in P2, Serenade P3, Nuno 4th, Sobel 5th, Julo 6th, Rito 7th. Hanandi, Vlad and Lucius round out the top 10. Then go down the rest of the grid. We have Cosmo, Kamikaze, Rams, Hyper, Andres and Urist. The liveries are all messed up for me, but I generally remember which teams people are on, so I'm going to try and just tell that to you.
That's
Wow.
unfortunate for Rito. He's 7th. He was like what, third last time?
Third on last time, and he uses soft compound to really push ahead.
That's incredibly. Oh god, am I going? Opalon just said he's not competing, so now I have to step in as a reserve all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I suppose if you're not hang on.
Okay, well, it's been a blast. I'll see you after the race.
Okay, see you.
Yep, see ya.
What's the plan? That's it.
It's just gonna be me and you, Lev. You by my side. You by
Okay.
my side. And that is all good. I cannot believe that our second driver and reserve are both. Little stat, this is the second race running that Het has missed qualifying and joined the race. Which happened in UAE last time after he also showed up late, but that was just, I think, disorganisation. He'll start from the back of the grid after not competing in qualifying. Do we not have rain on? Okay, then fine. Danimator leads the pack away. Nuno in second, Anti in third, Serenade in fourth, Sobel in fifth, and we have a whole lot of hectic stuff going on near the back at the moment. Up back near the front, a little lag at the moment. We've got Danny leading them away. Nuno is going to go for the attack down the inside now. I'm not very precise. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah. My control panel's gone. Okay. Sorry about that. That was a very unprofessional start to it. Sobel is leading the way. Rito is up into second place already. This is amazing. Is he going to take the lead again? I'm so sorry for the slightly absent-minded start to the commentary I've done. I got a little bit shaken after the crash of the first race. There's a crash back there. Serenity gets thrown into the wall. He's been dropped back massively. The two NTHs are fighting the two FGRs. There's a little bit of lag, but nothing too concerning. Rito leads the way again. For somebody who has very little experience online, he is absolutely doing amazingly. He is absolutely doing amazingly. I'm just stunned. Lev, what are your thoughts so far? Don't know what.
It's just, I don't know, I don't have words to because, well, it's a great start for my boys. And Red Bull from 7th to 1st, just 2 laps. It's amazing.
Meanwhile, Rams is attacking for the podium here. He's fighting for 4th and 3rd place with Sobel. Up the grid, we still have Danny in P2. He's won 2 of the last 3 races in the Sunday League. He beat Nuno to the race win. Nuno, of course, being public enemy number 1 in terms of race winning. For UAE and for Valencia, Nuno got the win in Zandvoort after a very close 3-way fight between him and Sobel and Serenity. Now, speaking of, we've got Sobel in 3rd place. We've got a team fight here. Sobel in his first race for NTH, and the 2 FGRs attacking him, and he drops back slightly coming out of the last corner. I've got some bad lag here. That's, I think, just on my end. Apologies to viewers for this, but it does clear itself up. I think that might have been a server lag, actually, that would make more sense, yeah. Danimator, meanwhile, has closed the gap on Rito. Danny is on the mediums, Rito on the softs. Rito's tyres are going to start to be going off a little bit, but it is only lap 6, so we're not really sure about that. And he's dropped back. Rams and Nuno are going to be going at it. I wonder if there's going to be some team orders at FGR to let Nuno through to try and attack Sobel. He is historically the faster driver, with Rams only really emerging towards the kind of second half of last season. He's let Nuno through at turn 1. Nuno's going to try and pepper an attack on Sobel. Nuno is on the harder compound of tyres. Sobel on the mediums, Rams on the mediums. Serenade, who's closed the gap behind, also on the mediums. Hyper, doing much better than last time out, is in 7th place, but he is on the soft tyres. Lev, thoughts?
This race is much more interesting than the last one because overall very much more battles. And we have Serenity coming into the pits. There are 3 cars this way. It's Andy, Serenity, and the NTMA seconds, and Hyper as well.
We have Hetmanet making his stop, Nandi into the pits, Serenity in as well, as he said, Hyper and Anti-Amazing. Now Anti, one of his very typical tactics, Rito's just come in. Danimator takes the lead of the race on lap 8, where he leads lap 8. He's now going on to lap 9 in the lead of the race. One of the tactics that we've seen from Anti in previous races is if things are not going his way, he will go for an enormous undercut on the first stint to try and pull himself back into contention. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to wait for this leading pack to pit. That's not the leading pack, that is Het. Nuno and Sobel still battling it out. This will be losing them a little bit of time. Sobel should be coming in this lap. I'll call it this lap. He's not. I'm very bad at calling it. Nuno is on the hard tyres. Those will last him a bit longer. Sobel in 3rd place at the moment, right behind Nuno. Rito in 4th place. He's the highest ranking driver who has stopped, and he's on the soft tyres. Kamikaze is not having a good time with the lag spikes at the moment. VEO, despite improving their pace this season, maybe having some still more reliability issues that plagued some of their drivers in times gone by. Lev, any further thoughts?
Solo just within seconds, and as well we can see that Red Bull and Solo now soft. Red Bull, yeah.
I'm afraid you're cutting out a little bit at the moment, Lev. I can't perfectly make out what you said, but yes, Sobel has pitted. Anti has undercut him. The big surprise is that Urist and Anti were battling. Obviously, with Urist on the hard tyres, he's yet to stop yet. Yet to stop yet? Yet to stop. The teammates go side by side. Anti gives the position to his teammate on the back straight, which is kind of to be expected, really. He's going to try and slipstream him to try and get some of that fresh, soft tyre pace while he's sitting there on the mediums, which are a few laps older. Anti, I think, pit on about lap 6. Sobel, only on lap 10. So this is a massive change in strategy in terms of what these teammates are doing. So was able to stretch those tyres that far and have good pace, and he is now directly ahead of Anti. Further up the pack we have Cosmo, who is still yet to stop. As I say that, comes in. Nuno has stopped, and he comes out, also in 5th place. Unsurprisingly, as we saw in the sprint, Rito leads the way, and my god, is he leading it by quite some margin with only half of the race done. I'm shocked at his pace. He was robbed of what would have been a brilliant victory in the original race before the lobby crash, but he's really shown this pace back. We have to account for tyre compound differences. He's on the soft tyres. He's been running soft tyres all race. I think he's stopping every 7 laps for new softs. Is that right? He might pick some hards here to go to the end if he does box this lap. We'll have to take that into account. But he's already 4 seconds ahead of Danimator and the chasing pack, and I cannot believe that. Lev, over to you.
So, as we can see right now, Sobel does down with it in there, but he has solved it.
I think we've still got some technical issues there, I'm afraid, on Lev's end. But yes, as you heard from the beginning, Sobel is leading Danimator. They're in a little pack here, and he's undercut to try and get into the pack. Did work for the time being, now isn't, because he's on much more worn tyres. Sobel leads them, I say leads them, he's nowhere near the lead of the race, and he goes into the pits again. They're battling, the 3 of them. Well, I wouldn't say 3 wide, but they're going through here. Nuno gets the position on from Danny, and he goes for it on Sobel, and he pushes Sobel wide and takes 2nd place. Danny and Nuno are really going to get their elbows out here for what might only be a 2nd place finish. If Rito can keep up this phenomenal pace, a pit stop is about 7 seconds here. He's 4 or so seconds ahead. We'll see where he comes out. He's just changing the tyres now. He's comfortably ahead of Sobel. He's going to come out of the pit lane, trigger the pit exit, and he looks to be, we'll wait for that time screen to come up, about 3 seconds behind him. Danimator. Wow. He's on the softs, he'll take those to the end because there's only about 7 laps to go. Rams is right behind him. He luckily came out ahead of Rams. Nuno and Danny need to sort aside their differences here and slipstream each other to stand any chance of being able to beat Rito. That looks like that's Danny's plan at the moment, because Danny's not going for a move there. He's not gone for the move in turn 1 like we've seen him do before. He's not gone for the move in turn 4 despite Nuno's slow exit. You have to wonder for Danny. There's 2 possibilities going through his mind. He slipstreams Nuno, the most successful Sunday League driver of all time, at least in terms of World Championships. Does he slipstream him? Does he try and force his way past? He's alongside going to the front into the 2nd last corner. Nuno gives him a bit of elbow on the straight, puts him into the sand. Danny is going to go for the overtake here at turn 1. He goes down wide. He's going to come strongly back at Nuno. He turns in at turn 4. They go down the hill through the chicanes. This is a wonderful battle. All this time, this is playing right into Rito's hands. Nuno was asking for a slipstream here. He realises now how much trouble they're in. Serenine, meanwhile, is showing some unhappiness. What's gone wrong for Serenine? We'll have to find out. But Nuno is still leading at the moment. Serenine on my timing screens is not going down. It doesn't look like a DNF at the moment, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Maybe it's just agitation and something on track. I need to work my words out a bit better. Rito is now having a go at Danimator. Danimator's hards are quite old. Rito's softs are pretty new. He's going to have a really good chance if he can get past these 2 very fast drivers. He's gotten past Danny. Danny fights him back into the final corner. Rito has the superior straight line speed. I think he just about led lap 20 there. I'm keeping tally in my mind, but he goes wide on the exit of turn 1. That's lost him quite a bit of time. We're getting into the stage now where there are only a handful of laps left to the end of the race. Can Nuno and Danny, purely with their cars alone, just try and keep him behind? They're really going to try and get the elbows out to defend here. This is a 3-way fight for the win in this season opener. and I for one am absolutely loving it. Hetmanek and Andrews, as we anticipated, are also going wheel to wheel in the BBZ. 1 lap down, Nuno pushes Rito wide, Danimator takes the lead back. Rito cannot get out of 3rd position at the moment. There really is only 2.5 laps left for him to make his impact now. Let's see how his soft tyres are doing. They're yellowing out a little bit. Nuno's tyres look worse, as do Danny's. Is Rito going to go for the dive bomb? He does, but he can't get the exit. They're double defending here. Nuno and Danny is serving them brilliantly against the fast charging Rito. But will they hold on for long enough? And Keeley, when they start to battle for the win on the final lap, what will happen? Rito forces his way past Nuno. If Nuno comes back at him, he'll still stand a chance. If he can't, Rito will have at least 2nd place with a tyre advantage on Danny. Nuno gets the slipstream going down the back straight. He's into the final corner now. Is he going to get the slipstream on Danimator? Commie is yet again complaining about reliability issues. I think he's got some real problems going on there. Rito got the slipstream on Danny. Is he going to go around the outside at turn 4? He tries it, but he invites Nuno into the inside. Danny cuts, Nuno cuts, Rito cuts. Rito back into 3rd place. He's hit the wall on the final lap. Danimator still out in the lead of the race. Can Nuno get into his slipstream for one almighty toe down the back straight? He can. Rito makes a mistake. Nuno goes for it at the end of the race. Will it be enough?
Yes!
No! Danimator
Yes!
holds on. Nuno in 2nd place. Rito in 3rd. Sobel in 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Anti in 5th. Rams now in 6th place. Cosmo in 7th. And Lev has been cheering his head off in the commentary box. Three-way tie for fastest lap. What an incredible race. My voice has fully gone. I'm in genuine disbelief of what I've just seen. I thought this was in the bag for a Rito victory as it looked in the initial race. But boy was I proved wrong. Danimator takes his 3rd win in Sunday League. His 3rd win in only his 6th race as well. He's done incredibly in his start. Sobel beats Anti in their 1st race as teammates. Rams in P6, Cosmo in P7, Hyper P8. Those are very strong positions for all of them. Then we have Julo, Vlad in 10th, Pamushis in 11th, Serenade in 12th. Anyone guessing that a traditional Class A driver would finish outside the top 10 in the predictions were spot on. 2 of them have done so. Hinandi, after a very strong start, down in 14th place. Kamikaze in 15th after complaining about reliability all race, and unsurprisingly, Andres and Het, probably after going at each other's throats and actually trying to murder each other all race, are down, rounding out the final 2. This has been an incredible race, and I really hope that you've enjoyed it all. I'm sorry for any slip-ups in my commentary, but my god was that exciting. See you all for the next round in the Saxon group. Bye bye for now.